Welcome everyone to another episode of Inquiring Minds. I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and as always, I'm accompanied by my man. I always point to the wrong side, Javi, Conquistadorks. What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for being here. Hialeah, what's going on, man?
Dude, everything is good. I went to my shop, and you were just telling me off air that you went to another shop in our area. Who did you see?
I went to go see none other than Take the Time Collectibles, Brian, over at Phil's Comic Shop in Margate. And they also have an eBay store. So if you guys do the eBay stuff, go check them out. But man, I was hanging out with him for almost like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was awesome.
Dude, I haven't been up there. I feel bad because I haven't gone. It's been about 3 months. I would think I have to make my way up there, man. I suck.
It's all right. He asked me, he was like, "You're gonna go see Hialeah," and I'm like, "Yep, Inquiring Minds."
Dude, I went today to my LCS because it's a lot closer to my house. Bro, I picked this up. Did you get this?
No, man. I heard that was blowing up. I was what's it called again?
It's called
the something.
The Department of Truth.
That's what it is, yeah.
It's the only book. I picked up about 10 books. This is the only book I read. Oh my God, I'm hooked. I can't wait. It's about conspiracy stuff.
Yep.
So freaking good read, guys. Highly recommend this. But we got a few people in the chat so far. We got a Ruli, Pope, Ruben, Steve, Funk Soul Brother, and John's Comics with Kids. We got everybody coming in. I got to bring in our guest, and there he is. I hate to keep the guests waiting in the back too long, but...
Hey, I was just having fun watching your haul. I was like, oh, wait.
Dude, what is...
That's something I'm more familiar with talking about than myself, so, you know.
You're gonna find out. It's not that hard. You know, you're the expert. You're the expert in you, dude. Excellent.
That's nice, dude.
Excellent freaking read, man. I fucking loved it. Dude, look who's here. When you have Javi, you always have Bake.
Yes, you do.
What's up,
Snake?
Hey, first of all, thank you for finding the time and coming on with us, man.
Oh, dude, thank you guys for the invite, man. It only took 44 episodes for me to get the invite, you know. Hialeah had to win Comic-Gories again for me to get back on the show.
Yep.
Dude,
it was a step-by-step process.
Bro, I was on today with Jeff, man. I made it on I was with him on Cantonese Wednesday, and I was talking to him backstage, man. I haven't had him on. I haven't had Bo. We haven't.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this community. It's like once you start, because I'm experiencing the same like kind of scheduling process, just slightly less flexible, because if you don't have an art collection, you can't come on my like regular show that I do, right? Yeah. So it's a little bit more narrow of a pool, but it's just, dude, there are a lot of people in the community.
But dude, when you started that show, which is it's a freaking great show.
Thank you.
How do you find those art collections? Do people reach out to you?
There's been a couple cases where people have reached out to me, like Tat Comics was one who kind of like raised his hand. Stray Flexin on Instagram,
nice.
Who's not on YouTube. I don't know if it was his idea to come on, but he and I, had been talking forever ago before I even did the show, because he was one of the few other people I knew collected original art. So I was like, hey, I might be doing this show. If I do this show, would you be interested? So, there's been a lot of conversations to try and get that show to happen. So sometimes it's harder,
I think if you would make it a weekly show, it would be a lot tougher.
It would be great. It's just there's not enough guests. I'd run out too quickly, and then I'd have to get it. Then I'd have to commit to a specific day and time and whatnot, and that becomes tough also for me.
Yeah, and original art it's not hard to come by, but it can get more on the costly end. Yeah, for sure. So if it was a weekly thing, I can imagine people would be like, "Oh, right. I need to buy this for the show."
Right, and I also have to think about my own temptation with picking up stuff and whatnot. As the struggle between temptation and content is sometimes a real thing also for us who have been doing this now. I mean, I've been doing the YouTube channel for 2 years. I just had my 2-year anniversary a couple days ago or whatever. So, you know, I gotta keep things in check sometimes.
Dude, I was gonna bring that up, man. Congratulations on the 2nd anniversary. What made you jump into YouTube?
Well, I think it's because I started watching it, frankly, you know, for a while, and just after a while, finally became not afraid to be in the live chat for certain channels. Like I think it was Reggie Bueller mostly at the beginning, but and Comic Tom and stuff like that. But you know, I branched out pretty quickly from there as far as participating in the chats. And then I just, you know, I felt that social connection need over the hobby, which I don't have a lot of in IRL even before COVID. You know what I mean? I mean, with COVID, it's just impossible. But
yeah.
How's it been with you in COVID, dude? I want to know how it's been. Okay, not just you. How's like the morale? Because when it started, dude, New York was like ground zero.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty rough for a while, but I think it's a lot more optimistic now, because we just started indoor dining and stuff, like limited capacity and everything, but like that just started literally today. We still don't have stuff like movie theaters though, so like anything where you're talking about a significant amount of people, like even with social distancing, like hasn't been happening. Obviously, live events haven't been happening, which is a big detriment to the industry I work in, which is music. Mm-hmm. So it's been tough from that perspective, because most people who are living in an NYC experience are excited about going out and being about and doing things. You know what I mean? And that just hasn't been happening. So it's been pretty solitary for the last however many months, you know.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy how long it's been.
Yeah.
I can't imagine COVID in New York, man. I'm sorry, I just can't fathom that, dude.
Yeah, it's been crazy, but at the same time, you know, there's been stuff to do. It's not like I'm sitting around all day with nothing to do. I got a lot of stuff I need to accomplish, so that's cool, you know. And everything here in the community, honestly, like has helped also. You know what I mean? Especially from a social media and human connection standpoint, it's definitely helped.
For me, it's yeah, dude. This is our social. It's like it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, this is us hanging out.
Yeah, this is us going to the bar, the corner bar. Then we come to our room or our computer and we have a drink and we talk with our friends, dude. It's
pretty much, dude. Yeah, man.
And the chat too, man. The chat's awesome as well for being here.
Yeah, man. There's nothing. I mean, just hanging out in the chat sometimes is just as fun. Like, yeah, honestly, I love being in the chat. So.
Yeah. My brother lives in New York, and he'll sometimes like sends me snaps or like sends me like little video footage, and sometimes like the streets are just dead sometimes now.
Yeah.
And especially because New York was such a big tourist spot too, so you don't see as many people as far as tourists goes either.
Right. Like, I mean, there are tourists still, but it's not like tourists in mass volume. Yeah. Like it usually is year round.
Yeah. I mean, is Times Square still like? Is there still like a nightlife and stuff like that as far as Times Square or like those types of places? Yeah.
Is it? That's my exact question. Do they still got the stairs in Times Square? Are people still taking pictures?
No.
The naked cop.
I mean, people are taking pictures of the empty Times Square, like obvious what he just said, like, because that's such a different thing. You know what I mean? Like, taking a picture of like a crowded Times Square is something millions of people have done over the last however many long since phones had cameras or whatever,
right?
But
hey, look at Diaz. No one who lives in New York actually goes to Times Square.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the case. Like, I avoid that area of the city like the plague, basically, and now it is the plague. So.
So you moved on from Or like the COVID hype has kind of died down. Of course, you know, you're everyone's staying safe and everything, but now you don't have to worry about COVID so much. Now you have to worry about that clock that's ticking down till the end of the world.
Pretty much.
Dude, that's like people. Bake. When's the last time you went to South Beach? We don't go to South Beach, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't been to South Beach in over a year, so if not longer. So,
Right.
dude, so you collect your art, you collect your comics. Which one do you prefer, or do you prefer both? Or I think you.
Oh man, you're gonna make me answer that question.
Are they one in the same, or
I
do
think
you
they're two uniquely separate hobbies that are about related subjects. You know, about related IP. Characters and creators. So, you know, my love for Batman or Spider-Man doesn't change when I'm looking at original art. I want to collect my collection. Like, I'll have a preference towards those characters when I'm looking at like published pages or, you know, commission ideas or whatever. But you know, you're not going to be able to find everything you want, and you're not going to be able to find everything you want at a price you can afford.
Right.
When it comes to original art, whereas with books, like with the exception of like Golden Age as a you know, Golden Age certain categories, because there are a lot of affordable Golden Age categories too. You know, like funny animal books and Westerns and all sorts of stuff. With the exception of that stuff, and then like the super keys, right? The super keys of the comic book market, like. You could accomplish most of what, you know, the normal collector can, you know, over time accomplish what they want to get, or at least amass a collection. You know what I mean? But when it comes to art, like, you may not find something that you connect with personally enough to pay for it, right? Or pay that much for it, right? Like there has to be a much deeper personal connection to that specific piece that you're looking at, and in that decision, you have to understand that this is the only this very likely might be the only opportunity you ever get to buy that piece.
Right.
So yeah. It's more complicated, I would say, and there's no like, you know, there are past sales, you know, there are like, you could go look at Heritage and see what a Jack Kirby splash from, you know, Mr. Miracle and the Bronze Age has sold for in the past. You know, however long ago it sold, but unless that specific piece ever comes back up, that frame of reference point is only
gone.
It only goes so far, because it's all about that specific piece, and it's all about who's willing to pay for it at the time. So, you know, it's way more volatile, I guess.
Do you sell either books or your art?
I sell books.
Your art, no.
Not really. I might start getting into a little bit of that, like as far as like trading and stuff like that. We'll see, but you know, I don't have like a whole like massive inventory of art. Right. It's still a manageable collection at this point. Whereas with comic books, I've consistently fought that, like, okay, I'm running out of space. Okay, I got to sell some books. Okay, I'm running out of space. Okay, I got to sell some books. And then some books I'm just selling to capitalize on the current price of a book, and when I got into it, you know, at what price did I get into that book, and okay, can I get out of that book, that kind of thing. So
hey, real quick, aren't you happy you didn't sell that Venom 3 for $140?
Oh, I'm totally happy I didn't sell that, because I sold that copy for like, I think $375.
Bro, I was this close to buying it, because I was this close to buying it, bro. When nobody was buying it, I was like, dude, should I buy it? Should I buy it? Bro, and like the next day or 2 days, like, it was real fast.
That was unreal. I was so surprised. I was like, okay.
Dude, I was so happy.
I remember that too. I remember that auction, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it
Both
too.
You guys were on that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so happy when that shit went up, and I go, dude, he didn't sell it. Nobody bought it. Wow. That is so awesome. You know what? I know you've talked about heritage auctions and all that stuff that you're always, when it's closing, ending, you talk about it. Real quick, I get that question about the art in the comic books. Let's say you go on eBay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you search for? More comics or more art? What's the last time you searched on eBay? What were you looking for?
Probably original art. But that said, I don't buy a lot on eBay. Like you know, like I've gone through spurts of where I buy a lot on eBay because I'm being offered like marketing or promotional opportunities by eBay that are to my advantage to buy on eBay.
Right.
But even like eBay Bucks and things like that. I don't really buy a ton on eBay anymore, though. Like if I'm honest. So, but I've been down that rabbit hole like several years ago. I was 2015, 2016, 2017. Like, I was buying on eBay like a madman back then.
It's addicting, dude. It's addicting. It's the auctions and whatnot. All right. I think the game started. We haven't talked. We're not going to talk basketball, Javi. Just for a second.
I was going to wear my Lakers hat tonight, but I didn't want this to be a contentious show.
Oh, dude, you should have, man. It would have been fun.
Y'all friendly.
Okay. The game's, I think it's about to start or it started. I don't see any score yet. Okay.
We'll keep tabs on it. Maybe the chat.
Maybe the chat. I know Blake's probably going to be watching it. Dude, okay. Are you? I used to be a Laker fan in the 80s. Okay, this is how it comes to my basketball fandom. I do love the Heat, but there's certain Heat teams that I don't like. I'm not like a diehard. Like with the Raiders, I'm Raiders till the day I die, right?
Right.
I love the Heat. I always pull for them. But I do like other teams in basketball.
Yeah.
You're a Laker fan because you lived in LA?
Yeah, I lived in LA for 10 years. Speaking of the Raiders, I was born on Super Bowl Sunday when the Raiders beat the Redskins. That's my birthday. In the 80s. The LA Raiders. So more LA connections. But yeah, I lived in LA for 10 years. So I went I got to experience sort of the tail end of the the dynasty and like Kobe's massive success in LA and all that stuff. And when I moved to New York, it was Kobe's last season, and it was before he announced it was officially going to be his last season. And I went to go see him like just annihilate the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center, thinking this is probably the last time I ever see Kobe play. And then like a week later, he's like, "This is my retirement year" or whatever. And I was like, "Okay."
So is it a given that he's your favorite all-time player?
No, Michael Jordan's my favorite all-time player. I grew up one of those 90s Chicago Bulls bandwagon kids, totally like 100% 90s Chicago Bulls, Last Dance magic to reference a recent documentary. That was my childhood, man. Like, the 90s Bulls and all those championships. And
how could you not be, right?
Being sad about Jordan's father. Like, I felt like I lost, I felt like I was losing my father or something. And then, losing him to baseball and like being like, okay, because I was into baseball. I'm a Mets fan. But it wasn't basketball was my number one as far as sports. And, it was such a crazy time. Then he comes back, and that was like the most dramatic 8 years of professional basketball. Like, come on.
So good, dude.
It was so good.
Going back to that Raiders Super Bowl, dude, I watched that Super Bowl. I was a Raiders fan, and I was just going crazy when Marcus Allen did that run. I know you were just born, so you probably saw that replay. But oh my God, dude! That's the last time I saw them win a Super Bowl. But what a win!
Hey, well, I was born on that Super Bowl in the city of Buffalo, New York, and so my dad's not into like sports, like hardcore or anything like that, but he like chose to be a Buffalo Bills fan because I was born on the Super Bowl Sunday in Buffalo, and they held their training camp like outside of our apartment at the time. We lived in upstate New York, when I was a baby and a toddler, and they had their training camp and whatnot. So like I kind of casually like have this soft spot for the Buffalo Bills because of that. They did lose 4 straight Super Bowls, which was.
But they made it to 4 straight Super Bowls, and that's
they made it to 4 straight Super Bowls. But football wise, I'm a New York Giants fan. I've been a New York Giants fan most of my life, and they took down the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty proud of that. Eli is not the greatest quarterback in the world. I will admit that.
No, he's not. But dude, he was money for them, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were born in Buffalo. You lived in New York most of your life. You grew up in New York.
Well, yeah. So I was born in New York, Buffalo. grew up in a combination of Rochester, New York, and New Jersey, outside the city, like 45 minutes or so outside of the city, by bus or whatever. I used to. So most of my childhood was in, most of my like adolescence was in the Jersey, but like much younger, toddler and whatnot, upstate New York. I grew up going to the city as a teenager, like on the bus. I would just hop on the bus, be in the city in about 40, 45 minutes. And the city was my playground back then, you know what I mean? Like when I was younger. So I always had a soft spot for New York, and kind of figured I would come back to live here permanently at some point in my life. I didn't know when exactly that would be or how that would take place, but it all ended up happening somehow,
So you're east side, you're East Coast. But
yeah, I mean, well, I was born and raised on the East Coast and kind of breathed the East Coast attitude. That's just me, but I loved living in LA, man. Like I loved it, man. The weather is freaking beautiful. The people are beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. The culture is beautiful too. The food, incredible Mexican food and sushi and seafood, and just great people. And I really kind of like cut my teeth or whatever that phrase is, in LA, as far as like my career, my life. So, I got a lot of love for the West Side also. So I'm kind of torn, like I don't think I could actually choose between the two cities. I love them both.
I could see that because you talk fondly of LA, bro.
I do. Yeah. I really love it.
You could see that you love it. How long were you there?
10 years.
Nice.
And what? How old were you? Like, what? Those 10 years was what? Like, what was the
age? It was age 23 to 22 or 23 to 30 to 32, basically. Yeah. So like,
those are a lot of fun years.
They are. Yeah. I mean, that's when you learn how to be. Those are the years where you like, quote unquote. Yeah. Adulting begins by the end of it, but the beginning of it is a lot of like experimentation.
Yes. And you were up there by yourself?
No. I had a serious girlfriend when I first moved to LA, and we lived together and whatnot. That relationship did not work out. But there was a lot of great things about that relationship. She was an artist. We were both kind of passionate about our careers. That's just the way life goes. But so I had that sort of extra motivation, I guess, to like make the trek all the way to LA at the time. And I also had a roommate at one point and whatnot. But for the most part, I've been a solo since then or whatever, since those times. But yeah.
Hey, we've been skirting it around. And we kind of talked backstage, and I just got to bring it up, bro, because I'm dying to know, dude.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, what do you do?
So you want the long version or the short version, I guess?
Let me just this is why I come to this, man, because we've talked off air, and I think we talked about music, and I think on Instagram, and I was at Ultra one year.
I was there too. We didn't know it.
And you were at Ultra too, dude. And if you guys don't know what Ultra is, it's the oh my god, EDM music. Yeah. It's down here in Miami, or it was. I don't know if there's.
Oh yeah. We can get into the dance music period of my life if you want to. Maybe a little bit later.
A little bit later, but dude, you were. Wait. I was in front in the crowd. Yes, with no shirt, dancing my ass off. You know it, dude. I was just going freaking nuts. There's like 7 stages. It's just freaking mayhem. Carl Cox's stage is just total lunacy.
When was this?
Oh yeah, Carl Cox, dude. I remember the Carl Cox.
Bro, that one is scary. It's so freaking scary, dude. It's just like one massive amount of people just.
Oh yeah. And
oh my god, talk about social non-distancing. That's what that is, bro. But while I was in the crowds, where were you?
I was hanging out with like Skrillex and other people backstage. That was fun.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. So what do you do?
So, okay, I'll give you the short version and then I'll sort of backtrack
Okay.
and try to fill in some blanks, okay? Currently, I am a senior executive at a large corporation that's involved with streaming content, radio, live events. I mean, live events mostly pre-COVID. Obviously, we're in a non-live event universe right now, which is
Yeah.
but streaming content, podcasts, radio events, and media, essentially a big media company. So my day-to-day like responsibility or role among all that is essentially running a music programming division, right? So what that means is I have both my own career connections and expertise in the music industry that inform strategy, but then I also have a team of like expert people that report to me, right? That are sort of experts in their own niche lanes or their own niche formats or their own niche genres based on their work history and their body of work, right? And together we program music that's consumed publicly by a large audience. And so that's essentially like a marketing and curation like mix, right? It's a programming marketing mix, but as an executive, I also have to sort of manage other executives. So there's a lot of delegation involved in that kind of work. But at the same time, I also like to get my hands dirty. Like I program a lot of things on my own because like I still get nerdy about music. Like music is emotion. You know what I mean? Music.
Definitely, yeah.
Music is emotion. I mean, could you imagine watching a movie without a score or like a soundtrack or just the music? There's like a deeper connection to that art form that I've always had. So it's always been a part of my life. Like I started with piano lessons, guitar lessons, that kind of stuff when I was a kid. Started playing bands, started collaborating with other people about music, ended up going to college to study post, adolescence or whatever. And I was able to get my degrees from, I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston. So
nice.
I moved up there and my concentration when in my studies was music production, music engineering, music business. I did a double major in music business and music production. And really after college up there in Boston, I went straight to LA and started trying to work in the game. And there's a lot of things that happened in LA in that 10 years that we talked about earlier, which ultimately led to coming back to the East Coast, taking like, a good steady job that's still related to my field that I still feel passionate about and enjoy doing on a daily basis, that also, allows me to have fun. You know what I mean? Like in a way, it's not like certain music can be depressing, but it's not something that I ever thought I could do for a living, like when I was a kid. But here I am doing it, so.
Dude,
Living the dream.
Exactly.
Wait, was the short version?
Dude, that's a very short. Yeah, that's a very short.
Dude, living the dream, Javi. You nailed it, dude. It's like you see his face light up when he talks comics, original art, but did you see his face light up with music?
Definitely.
I love music, dude. I love it. I mean, I gravitated more towards sports. I think when I was younger, I guess, I was one of those kids that played like soccer, football, baseball, basketball, like whatever sport was available, I was like playing it at the same time. But around middle school or so, I kind of like, there was a shift, you know what I mean? Like where like that, the other hobbies started taking over my, I don't know, my time and my, I don't know, my, you know, what got me jazzed up, you know what I mean? Like what I got excited about started changing over time around then. So
I'm going by, you were born in, okay, that Super Bowl was 84?
84.
It was 84, okay?
Yep.
So you were, okay, I'm going to take a guess. Is rap your favorite?
No, actually.
No, wow.
Yeah, well, I don't really have, you know, I don't really have a favorite genre. I have favorite artists, you know what I mean? That are personal to me. You know, I don't really talk publicly too often about like the current music scene or whatever, because I kind of have to play it neutral and whatnot. Right. And you know, there's a lot of development that goes into what I do. Like I'm on the phone with all the major labels, or, you know, Zooms now, you know, a whole bunch of indie labels, artist managers. Like it's a back and forth process. Like I know what albums are coming out this Friday, you know, albums that the rest of the world doesn't know is coming out this Friday, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of process to, you know, what happens in the music industry of today, which is primarily a streaming business, right? It's a streaming environment these days. So that's kind of, you know, that's a big chunk also of what I do. Not only do I have to manage my team to achieve stuff that people can listen to, but I also have to manage the relationships between us and other entities like big labels, artists, and managers. So
of course, talk about the payola scene.
You're saying what Kenny's asking?
What? Yeah, what he's
talk
asking
about the payola scene in radio.
There is none.
But that used to be the norm, though, wasn't it? Back, you know,
back when the mafia ran the
exactly.
I mean, I do have some favorite like personal artists, I guess. You know, like I'm super into the band Tool. You know, they put out an album like once every 10 years or whatever. You know, they're like progressive metal.
Have you seen them in concert?
Oh yeah, of course, dude. I saw them last year at Barclays Center.
Are you serious?
It was excellent.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
When I started dating my wife, when we started dating, she knew I was into rock, and she's not into rock or anything, but she went and got me Tool tickets for my birthday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Tool is fantastic.
And we were like right over the stage because they put a lot of stuff on the floor, like images, like where they're playing. I gotta say, bro, he never looks at the fan. Yeah, he has his back to the audience. I forget what his name is. Maynard. And dude, that set me back, man. I was like, what's up with this, dude?
Yeah, they've always been favorites of mine. I kind of go in and out. I kind of go in and out of what band from my childhood is at like the top of my, you know, listening for fun list. You know, right now it's Deftones because they put out a new album last week, and I love that band. You know, I've probably seen that band live more times than any other artist that I've seen. I've flown to San Diego to see Deftones, like with my brother as like a bonding trip that was like 2 years ago or whatever. So like I will travel to go see the band Deftones just because just the experience and my love for that band and the connection to that band from my childhood. But I was also like a big like, you know, 90s hip hop and grunge guy. Like that was when I was turning into a teenager or whatnot, you know, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, like that whole era, Biggie, Tupac, of course, you know, Nas, like all the 90s is a big decade for me as far as like my early exposure and influences. The Cure is very, very big for me. Not really a 90s band, but that's when I discovered them. Well, they had hits in the 90s, you know.
Yeah,
so yeah, like, you know, so there's a lot of artists that I'm into, but those are a few, I guess, that I would name, you know, off the top of my head that I'm super into. So.
Dude, going back to Tool, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Yeah. I got something to ask you. But the song "Zombie" by Tool,
sick.
That song is perfection, bro.
Great song.
That song is perfection. And the question I want to ask you is: it Pearl Jam or Nirvana? Which one was it?
Okay, so I like both bands, but I'm a Nirvana guy. Like, so you can't see it, but like in a hallway down over there in my place, there's a like one of those standee style posters. You know, one of those thick style posters that you used to see at like record stores or whatever. Not like one of those thin ones that you can just kind of tape up against the wall, but like it had like serious thickness to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had, you know, that image of like Kurt wearing those glasses, like, and Dave and Chris like surrounding it. It's like a black poster. It's like one of the most famous images of Nirvana of all time. Well, at one point in my career, I worked at Geffen Records, and I actually took that when I left.
Nice, dude. And you have it hanging in your place?
I have it hanging in my place.
Oh, but
I mean, it's, you know, that's just kind of like a kitschy little like thing used at a record store. So, but in, you know, outside my office, there was like a 20 million albums sold Nirvana plaque, like just in the hallway or whatever, that was cool to stare at on my way into the office every single day, like that kind of stuff. I love Nirvana. Nirvana was a big part of my my youth, I guess.
Dude,
yep. Nirvana is fucking great.
Joy Division's awesome, man.
Bro, I had one chance to see them, and I didn't go, man. And I think he committed. Oh, wow. He died just a couple of months after, and I regretted that decision.
Wow.
God.
Dude, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Florida? They came down to Florida?
I never got to see Nirvana live, so that was, you
know.
Bro.
Right. They came down to where they hold Ultra in the amphitheater.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I didn't have tickets or anything, but my friend was a security guard in one of the buildings right next to the Bayside. And he goes, "Bro, come down. We'll go up to like the 10th, 15th floor, and we could see the concert from." Yeah. And I was like, And I've regretted that for 25 years, whatever. How long it's been, dude.
Kachun says Primus is his jam. Yeah, dude, Les Claypool is sick on the bass, dude. I love
Claypool, and then he played with Sean Lennon, the Lennon Claypool Delirium or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I saw them live.
Wow, Kenny, only 2 concerts, man. Wow. You need, well, I mean, there's none to do now, but you know.
Yeah. Concerts are great, man. Yeah.
My first concert was Beach Boys.
Really?
Oh, nice. Heck Boys. Yeah.
So that was with with parental unit like involvement or whatever. My first like, I want to go to this show, like, you know, like I think I was in middle school or whatever, with Smashing Pumpkins and Garbage. Yeah.
Well, dude, I saw the Smashing Pumpkins, man. I loved A Siamese Dream. That album is
such a good album.
Wow, it's better than the other one, the Midnight whatever.
Melancholy and the Infinite Seven.
Yeah, it's better than that one, dude. Yeah, I was a big Smashing Pumpkins fan.
Oh. Nice,
dude. Nice.
That's awesome.
I've been in
2 unknown bands opening for them, Korn and Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson's from Fort Lauderdale.
He's from Fort Lauderdale. It's Marilyn Manson and the
Spooky Kids.
Spooky Kids, man.
He used to play at Churchill's.
I was at a show 2 years ago. Marilyn Manson. It was on the whatever album cycle he was at then, and it was the show where the entire like stage backdrop behind him fell on him.
Oh shit!
They took him out basically. Like they had to cancel the rest of the tour. All this.
Yeah.
And the label. I remember the label had me there at the show. Like their rep had like flown out and whatnot, and we're standing in this like little, you know, carted off area to the side with like, you know, like a separate area to view the show, and we were all just watching in horror as like literally a giant stage prop like fell on top of them. It was
man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
dude, I love concerts. I've been going to concerts since I was like, I think my first concert was like 12.
Yeah.
And dude, I love them.
Yeah, I think it was like 12 too, something like that.
and it was crazy, bro. I think now I was going to concerts at 12, and I'm thinking of my parents. You know, they were from Cuba. They really didn't know what the hell was going on at a concert, and I'm thinking, I look at my kids, dude. I was 12 going to concerts, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? And we would never sit on our seats. We would just be jumping around to all the empty seats and just somebody.
Right. Well, it's interesting because, like, you know, the further stuff has come along in technology, like the more exposure there is, but the less like, you know, unique, fun stories there are like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that because, like, I'll think back on like earlier in my you know, childhood or whatever, you know, pre-internet, and I definitely long for those moments sometimes in my head. I know it's a good thing that, you know, we're all connected and we all have all this technology and everything, but sometimes, like, you do like long for a simpler time where
Yeah.
doing something quote unquote riskier now was just considered normal then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we would jump fences, man.
Oh, yeah.
There used to be the Hollywood Sportatorium, right? I think right here where I live, it used to be all swamp and just the Hollywood Sportatorium, and we would jump the fence to freaking get in. And dude, and yeah, it's nuts, dude. So you've worked with a lot of bands.
I have, yeah.
Can you drop names?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you just want me to list them off, like,
Or
Okay.
what are some of the most memorable?
yeah, okay.
like,
Some of them,
some of the most
yeah,
memorable
sure. Like,
experiences.
it's crazy. Like, sometimes it's hard to keep track of
Yeah.
things, but you know, my career took this kind of a trajectory where it was like I was first working more on the creative side, then I transitioned to like marketing, digital content, then I transitioned from that to management, and then I transitioned from that to radio, then I transitioned from that to streaming, to just kind of being involved in all of it now. So there's been a lot of stuff. So when I say I've worked with this artist, it could be a different capacity for every single artist I name off, right? And so I'm not going to be able to tell every single story.
Of course.
Probably some of the artists that I'm most proud of working with would be like straight to the top, Linkin Park. You know,
Nice.
I was on their management team for several years. I was heavily involved with the band Rise Against when I was at Interscope Geffen Records. So that's a band that I'm really proud to have worked with. I was fortunate enough to work on the early Lady Gaga stuff and projects.
Really?
When I was at Interscope. Yeah. So that was one of the first.
Wow.
One of the first things I got involved with over there, and like I did bring some like I went to my closet where I kind of stash all this
Yeah.
swag, kind of all this stuff that I kind of just stash in the closet, and because I don't like looking at it constantly. And right now I have no office,
Right.
you know, I'm just working from home, and all my stuff was like shipped to me and everything. So like I have just a whole bunch of stuff kind of just sitting in a closet right now that I don't look at on a day-to-day basis, but I brought some of it out.
Awesome.
In case you want to see it or whatever. Or
I think everybody, bro, thank you everyone in the chat. You guys are freaking knocking it out the park, man. I'm sorry if I can't keep up with everything, but dude, thank you so much everybody for tuning in, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I love Rage Against the Machine too, but I'm talking about the band Rise Against. It's a different band, technically.
Yeah, it's a different band.
But they're in the same like very political alternative space.
Yeah.
They've both been very commercially successful as well. You know, they're but
have you? Isn't Rage supposed to be getting back together though? Did I hear that correctly?
There was a tour I had. It was supposed to happen. I had tickets. I had my tickets reserved for MSG and all this other stuff. And guess what? That shit's canceled. So,
dude, I've never seen Rage. I've seen the concerts like on YouTube and on DVDs and all that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Those shows look crazy.
Dude, so
They played Woodstock. They played Woodstock, 1990s Woodstock.
I saw them at the LA Coliseum once with Rise Against, Muse, and Lauryn Hill.
Oh wow.
It was sick. That was sick.
Wow.
I also saw them in Philadelphia when I was a kid with Gangstar, Anti-Flag, like
Anti-Flag. I used to love Anti-Flag.
Yeah, and Rage. That was a great show too. That was like when like the Battle of Los Angeles record came out and everything. They were like A-listers.
Yeah.
Bro, those concerts look nuts, bro.
They were nuts.
Do you ever go into mosh pits?
I was into the mosh pits like when I was younger, like not so much.
Not now, man.
Not so much these days. The last time I was in a pit was about maybe 2 years ago. I went to go see one of my favorite bands at the drive-in.
Heck yeah, they came back together. Yeah.
So I went to the so yeah, they had this reunion tour and everything.
Yeah.
I went to the show, and they had literally canceled the show from stage while I was in the pit the first time, and they had to reschedule it, and I had to go back and see them at the same venue like the next year. Like so I literally had like a deja vu experience. The first time I got my heart broken, and the second time it was like a mind-blowingly satisfying experience because it was delayed by a year.
Yeah.
And it's a band I'd always wanted to see live and like let loose and let the memories of that music from when I first got into them as a child or a teenager, really not a child, but
yeah,
that I could cut loose with that as a 30-something person.
I was a big Mars Volta head, man. Omar was one of my inspiration, like to just pick up the guitar and like make those crazy sounds and go all out. Yeah. But yeah, at the drive-in, of course, that must have been awesome.
I saw Mars Volta open up for Soundgarden once at the Forum, I think it was in LA. That was a crazy show. I almost lost those shows. But
you almost what? You almost what?
Yeah, well, there's like several shows where like afterwards I feel like I may have lost my hearing. Like I was so close to the speakers without there's been times in my life where I've been good about wearing earplugs at very, very loud concerts, and then also like let it slip,
Yeah.
Hey, Super Russ has a question. You ever work with Evanescence?
And can you give Amy Lee?
So, funny enough, I actually have.
Wow.
Yeah. She did this awesome solo tour a couple years ago where she played with an orchestra, and I got to go see her play at King's Theater in Brooklyn, where she played with an orchestra. It was beautiful, and I got to meet her afterwards and whatnot. But yeah, there was a time. I'm very, very close with her manager, basically. You could say. So.
Awesome.
Cool. What did you want to share?
Oh, well, damn, man. All right. So one of the things that I mentioned was what I mentioned. One of the things that you talked about was EDM, right?
Yeah.
So back in like the 2012 area or whatever, I was heavily involved in that business from a few different standpoints. But one of the artists I was working with at the time was a big bass dubstep / trap. Depending upon the specific release you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of genre blending, but mostly bass music and dubstep. The artist, the DJ producer's name is Excision. He's pretty large in that space. And this for this particular show, Liquid Stranger and Lucky Date, also two other EDM producers, opened or whatever. But this was from a specific concert or event at Club Nokia in Los Angeles on February 11th, 2012.
Javi, that's
beautiful. I know. I freaking love this art. This artwork is just gorgeous.
Oh my God.
That's badass. Yeah.
So I had to make sure that I got this one framed and took care of it so it didn't deteriorate or get lost over the years. And it's held up for 8 years or whatever.
That is gorgeous, bro.
I love that. The art is just so cool, dude. So
wow.
Yeah. So there's one of the cool concert posters of something I was involved with. What else here? Well, I did mention Lady Gaga, right? So
so you met her?
Yes.
Dude, I really freaking I'm not gonna tell you I'm a huge fan of Lady Gaga, but I really like her, bro.
I mean,
I really like her.
I haven't been involved in her stuff or her camp or her whatever for years, but one of the first projects I got when I sort of shifted gears into the business side of the industry and I started working full time, Interscope Records. One of the first projects, and this was like right before like really her career started. You know, to the normal person wouldn't know who she was at the time. This is like 2007, right? Mm-hmm. Early 2008, and literally one of the first projects that I was involved with was her first single, "Just Dance." So I got to be part of the team that helped break that single, like in clubs, online, on YouTube. Ultimately, it went to radio, and once it went to radio, it was like a done deal.
Javi, real quick, dude, how much satisfaction you get when something like that blows up?
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
I can't imagine the sense of accomplishment, dude. Even though it's not, you didn't create that, you helped bring it to the masses.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you helped arrange it to get into the public eye, I guess.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, not just me, a lot of people.
Right.
Of course.
But there's for every release, there's like a core team at the label that is doing a lot of important work to help a project like that succeed. You know what I mean?
God,
so
the sense of that must be freaking.
Right. But anyway, here's the swag that's in the closet or whatever, right? So this is a plaque that commemorated 3 million downloads of this single, so triple platinum. Well, at the time, right? Well, that single ended up going on to sell more than 10 million copies worldwide. Wow. So,
and Hialeah knows every single word of that song.
Dude, she's just the way she comes across. I've seen a lot of interviews of her, and of course, that's her. What you see, what we see,
and she sings. She doesn't lip sing. She actually plays the piano. She actually.
I respect her, man.
Yeah.
It's not really the music I listen to, but I do loved a lot of the music.
So yeah, like before anybody even knew who she was, like she was fully dressed in these crazy get-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I literally I had to go. I was once in a meeting where she showed up in like some crazy like bunny outfit or whatever, and like there was I can't get into all the details, but it was she had this like sense of like future fashion very early, and has capitalized on that pretty damn well.
She wears meat dresses, yeah.
Well, yeah, but people are talking about that,
Yeah.
She's in the public eye or whatever. But there was like one shoot that I got to accompany her on that I remember really, really well, and we were still promoting Just Dance as her first single. The album was not out yet. And we were on Sunset. We were not on Sunset. We were adjacent to Sunset. We were on Melrose, where all the fashion stores are. Like that's like a big fashion area for shopping in Hollywood. And we were at this shoot. We were just hanging out on the street or whatever, and somebody drove by and just yelled out Lady Gaga. And that was like one of the first times she was ever publicly recognized. And like we were just on the street. It was very early. And we were just like, yes, like this is happening, like this is awesome, So I'll always remember that moment. That was like 13 years ago or something, 12 years ago. I don't know.
What real quick, did she light up? Did she?
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, it was insane. It was a great moment. But anyway, that album eventually did come out or whatever, and this is the first album, and this is for triple platinum or whatever back when this was issued or whatever. But her first album, I think, sold 15 million copies worldwide. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and you got all this stuff in your closet?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
If you were to open up the CD, let's say somebody has Lady Gaga CD, The Fame, right? And you know how sometimes it does the credits. You know, sometimes management is on there. Would you ever see like
there are certain jewel discs
or
where my name is in there? There's certain ones that I'm not. I don't remember off the top.
oh yeah, you don't keep track of that. You just care. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really big into like keeping track of things. I like a lot of this kind of stuff. I would normally want to be displaying in an office.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't have one. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and I prefer more personal things, and obviously the comic stuff and the art stuff for my house. You know, whatever. But anyway, another artist that I got to help single in this country is this UK artist. She had this hit single, Bulletproof, that went double platinum.
dude, I love that song, bro. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I freaking love that song.
It was a big single here in the States. She had other songs that hit bigger in the UK, but that's the single we chose here in the United States, and it worked.
So. Dude, that song's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I love Bulletproof. I'm bulletproof.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Running away, run away.
Dude, that's a great freaking song, dude.
I didn't bring out a ton of stuff, so I only got a couple more things probably. But here, so I did mention the band Rise Against.
Mm-hmm.
One of the singles that I was able to, really be an integral part of was this one. It's this one. This is a gold plaque for their single "Savior" off of their album "Appeal to Reason." It became the longest. It became the number one, the longest running song in the history of alternative radio. This song right here. So it was on the charts for the longest number of weeks for any song in alternative until a song in 2019 broke that record, which in a weird roundabout way I was also involved with. So
wow, how cool is that, dude?
That song was "Lovely the Band's Broken," which broke the record for longest running song in alternative or whatever. But that's a big one. I love the guys in that band. But that was from this record. So, oh shit, I'm gonna drop stuff.
Don't bring them, please.
All right. Just trying to be careful here with stuff. All right.
It's good. Take your time.
Yeah, you ain't in no rush.
That was from this record, "Appeal to Reason." So the record also went gold.
Wow.
I love that one. That's a cool one. I always like the cover of that. And what's cool is for a lot of these, I got to make the designs for these plaques.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, they're all freaking beautiful.
So this one's cool. So before Avengers Endgame, there was an album that the band Rise Against put out called Endgame.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit.
So this album came out, and this was their highest charting album. I think it charted number 2 on the Billboard Top 200 albums chart, etc. But anyway, this is like a limited print or whatever that they did of the album cover, and they signed it for friends and family. So for mine, they put "It's just a fad," which I always thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that is freaking.
a little inside joke from them to me, really.
Hey, I got a couple of questions for you,
Sure.
real quick. Life with Two YouTubers is making a claim. Sharon's making a claim. If you have a dirty napkin tossed away by Brandon Urie, I claim it.
Let me go look at my dirty napkin collection. Get my dirty napkin hitter on the line.
And dude, check out Unruly, because this is exactly what my whole thought process when we got Javi on. This is exactly what I hope to see Javi talk about, because it's not comic.
Yeah, I brought it out for you guys. All right, so I'm not going to show a ton more stuff, but
hey, real quick, we got another question. Do you know Olivia Newton-John?
No. No. A little before my time.
That's Hialeah's time.
That's my time.
not that I don't know who she is or don't appreciate her body. So I mentioned Linkin Park, and that's probably the band that I got to know the best, as far as like knowing them as human beings and spending time with them and just the whole thing. And that was when I was in the artist management world, not the label world. So when you're in the artist management world, you're dealing directly with the artist a lot. When you're in the record label world, you get to deal with artist representatives a lot, and occasionally the artist. Right. So, and artists have all sorts of different kind of representatives: managers, business attorneys, agents, right? That do touring booking and stuff like that, which is separated from management. So there's a lot of other pieces of the pie that get eliminated, right? If you will, and all of that is part of the music industry economy. Anyway, long story short, Linkin Park put out an album in 2012 called Living Things. It was a fairly successful album for them. I think it definitely went platinum in the United States. I don't know how well it did worldwide off the top of my head. Yes. Wow. Not in any sort of significant way. So, all right. So let's see. So one of the singles on that album, one of the singles on that album, I had come up with some idea to promote. I had come up with some sort of idea to promote the single that involved like getting amateur artists to create artwork and stuff like that, right? So this is actually like, when I think about it in hindsight, like this is one of my early forays into like artwork, but it's not, the type of stuff I'm into now or whatever from an art standpoint. But I thought it was a cool idea to create some additional buzz around the single or whatever. And this is the piece that ended up winning, and the winning the contest or whatever. And the guys signed, framed, and matted it for me or whatever.
Wow, nice! That's awesome.
So the name of the single was "Castle of Glass."
That's crazy, bro.
So I love this one. This one I actually have up in my bedroom. Like this is one of the few pieces I actually do. Yeah. So
I could see that. I could see why. I could see that.
Yeah, it's a little less like obnoxious.
No, man, not because of that. I just think it has more meaning to you.
It does have more meaning to me, and so does this one, because I was actually there when they were inducted to the Rock Walk on Sunset Boulevard.
Wow.
So I got to take this home.
Wow.
Sweet. So those were good. Those were good memories, And it's sad that Chester passed away a couple years ago, and that was a really sad time.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell had also passed just before that. He was another person I had the opportunity to work with in my career. So I feel very lucky to have worked with guys like Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. But it really upset me that they passed the way that they did so early. So yeah.
Yeah, that hit a lot of people.
It really hit me hard, dude.
I could imagine. I could imagine, because you knew them. It hit me, and I didn't even,
So I was at the funeral, and like it was really sad, but I have a hard time talking about that.
It's okay. It's all right, dude. You don't have to, dude. I feel you. I'm your boss, man.
But what? Yeah, what added to like my pain or whatever or hurt was that like TMZ found some way to like sneak into that or get into the parking lot for it, where there was like people waiting in a line to be let in, everybody dressed in black or whatever. And literally I see the back of my head, wearing a suit, whatever, in that photo. And I was just like, oh, that's such a blemish on what was supposed to be.
No, man, it's nothing on you, bro.
I know. I was just annoyed by it. Like I was just so annoyed by it because, even though I had parted ways with that part of my career, I'd already moved to New York. I had already started working in my current capacities and stuff like that outside of being in artist management. But honestly, I loved working with that band so much that I was tempted to like not take. I was tempted to not leave that world and
Wow.
you know, or whatever. But you know,
How long were you?
I don't have regrets.
How long did you work with them?
4 years.
Wow.
No, that's awesome.
That's you were part of the inner circle, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I could see that. I was lucky enough to see both of them live, so amazing artists.
I mean, this is like I have a jokey relationship with some of them, but like like this is funny, and I'll hide. You know, I don't care what this is. It's just like some other award that I won or something. But I had it sitting on my desk at work, and Mike Shinoda from the band was doing a promo trip or something like that from his for his first solo album after, you know, everything had happened with Linkin Park and Chester and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he like snuck up with his crew, you know, and I know everybody, right? He had snuck upstairs to where my office was, and I wasn't even there. Like I think he got there early, you know, and he stuck this Post-it note on my desk. So this Post-it note honestly means more to me than a lot.
Award.
And this is the Post-it note.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
With LPFM, LP is Linkin
LP,
Park,
Fort
and
Minor,
Fort Myers, yeah.
Fort Minor is his like
Fort Minor, yeah.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
So yeah, man. You know, so you know, there's some emotions there and stuff. But, yeah.
Hey, life for YouTubers, read this, man. I don't want to make you cry, but this is why I love you, Javi. You have been so much and met stars, and you are just sweet in you.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, to me, it's all just like work. Like it's not like, you know, there's more to it than just what you see as the end result. Like there's a lot of effort and sacrifice and lonely days and nights and time on the road and all sorts of stuff, you know. Like it's like dude, at one point, and this is when I was in management, like, and I've told this story before, I think I went to like 13 cities in a period of 15 days or something like that. Like some insane amount of you know, road, you know, on the road type stuff. I've also had like crazy scenarios where like literally this happened. Literally, I did this. This is stupid, but I literally flew from Los Angeles to Toronto once, and I didn't check into the hotel. I just left my bag at the bellhop, did some speaking engagements at like a conference or a convention or whatever, like a music related, I think it was Canadian Music Week in Toronto, and did a bunch of speaking engagements, met some people, you know, shook hands, did one like mentorship session for like local musicians or whatever that wanted to like meet people, you know, who were speaking and stuff like that. So it took some time to do that. Grabbed a quick bite with somebody I met there and spoke on a panel with or whatever. And then I grabbed my bag and I flew back to LA the same day.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, it's
the same day. I never even checked in that hotel. I was just like, I'm gonna do this. Like I had like this extra level of like, you know, like hit the button that you know, powers you up or whatever. And like, I couldn't do that now. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've gotten soft, like literally and physically.
You're not the only one, dude. There's stuff that I used to do, and it's like, yeah, no, dude. I don't even. You know what? The thing about growing older, bro, it's not that you can't do it. It's that you don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. And I've had that conversation with all sorts of people. Like you never want to grow up. I mean, why do you think we love this hobby so much? It's like,
right.
It's like we're holding on to our childhood in so many ways, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
We didn't even really scratch the surface on that, but you know, that's something we all share in common. Like, it's just, we love it. Like we all have different reasons for loving it, and a lot of those reasons are similar too, but they're all still unique experiences that led us to where we are. So,
hey, does your music world know about your Comic Books NYC?
Yeah, to some degree, but not to like, it just depends. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody I know pretty much knows I'm very into comic books. Like everybody knows I go to a lot of conventions. Like, I love that stuff. That's my jam. So.
Dude, I gotta say, I loved it. I absolutely loved it when Jeffrey went to and stayed with you.
Oh, dude, I loved it too, man. It was fun.
I saw the joy in both. You guys were like two freaking 12-year-olds, bro. And it was amazing. It was amazing to watch, bro. I just gotta tell you, I got a ton of joy watching you guys, bro. And I was so happy for you.
It was fun.
For you, bro.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Dude.
It sucks that it's not, like, it really, really sucks. Because next week, starting Thursday, would have been New York Comic Con. I'm gonna do some fun things on my channel.
Nice.
To sort of, I'm calling it CB NYCC 2020 instead of NYCC or whatever. But so I'm gonna do a episode of Original Art Hour. I'm gonna do a giveaway live hang. I'm gonna do a claim sale on Saturday, and I got a couple other people that are gonna join me on that. So I'm gonna do like 3 straight days of stuff on the channel to sort of fake, or I'm not trying to like compete with New York Comic Con. I'm just trying to have a fun time on my channel with me and some buddies and whoever wants to participate. Next week. And I'm taking the week off like I do every year to go to New York Comic Con, but there's no New York Comic Con to go to. So I'm going to just create my own week of whatever, I'm going to try. Maybe I'll go to some local comic shops for sure next week.
Dude, I can't wait to watch this. Yeah. I can't wait to watch. Have you advertised that?
I told myself I was going to make a post today on Instagram, but then I got sidetracked by work and other stuff, and then ran into this show, so I didn't actually make a post. But I'll make a post tomorrow. So yeah, I'll make a post tomorrow. I'll let everybody know.
Hey guys, we're not ending the show yet. We already me and Javi talked before. We got about another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll go as long as you guys want me to go.
But I just want to say, man, I so appreciate you coming on, because I'm on the show with you and Bear Island and JP, and we
knows that
the East of West.
Oh yeah, East of West, Hickman. Yes, Hickman.
Good show.
I've been on Hickman Fair, and that and everything else I've been reading. But yeah,
I know your schedule is tough, so I really do appreciate you coming on. I did hit you up like 3 weeks ago.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I go, you know what? I gotta book him early.
He's got to
my schedule was tougher during pre-COVID era. But I'm home all the time now. So it's like, during pre-COVID or whatever, there was more reasons to be not home or not at the office. But that was still related to work or whatever. But now it's just everything's done from home. There are no events. There are no meetings I need to go to in person. There are no, so typically during COVID, I'm kind of available, quote unquote, after business hours. Not every day, but that's, and frankly, it's shown in my channel. I've been able to do more shows and stuff as a result of COVID. So there is I guess that's a positive side effect, but I'd rather us not be dealing with all this, frankly. But,
Hey, I want to kind of go back to the music.
Yeah, sure.
Who you've been around a lot of stars, right? Who's left you starstruck?
Oh man, Jay-Z.
Really? I think somebody asked that earlier. Hova. If you've been with Hova, I think I saw that in the chat earlier.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, it had nothing to do with business. It had nothing to do with work. Well, I guess it had something to do with work because I was taking an artist to Rock Nation, which is his company, in the Empire State Building at the time. That's where the office was. I don't know if that's where the office is anymore.
Right.
But
that's badass.
And I was with the group. We were walking in through the lobby. He walks out. He's just there, and we're just meeting him. Like that was the situation.
Wow.
And he was like surrounded by other dudes, like security, whatnot. But he called me boss or so. Like he gave me some casual, like, you know, generic, you know,
greeting. Yeah.
Special,
Chief.
Yeah, chief boss, something like that. You know, and I was like, wow, Jay-Z just called. Like even I can like nerd out about that. You know, I'm not totally desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Dude, and the thing is, you probably weren't expecting it. It caught you off guard, so it was like, oh shit.
It did, and you know, but there's been a lot of those moments. Honestly, like there's been a lot of those moments.
Who was the first person that you came across like that? Do you remember? When you first got into it, who was that first person that you were like, oh shit? Yeah, you said to yourself, what am I doing here? Oh my God, let me teach myself.
Well, I got to work with Slash for several years. And
nice.
Like the first time I ever saw him play guitar in front of me, I was just like, what the hell is happening right now?
Wow. And what was that like? You were in like a studio or something? Or
well, no, we were in a conference room, and he had his electric guitar with him just there. Like he's always playing, like even when he's not playing, he's playing. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those players. Like he has a total mastery of the guitar, like of his craft, and he's not going to let that go.
wow.
At that time, it was like before Guns N' Roses reuniting was ever going to be a reality, and that was like
right.
That was like the farthest thing from like a possibility or whatever. And years later, of course, that did happen, and I was no longer, you know, part of his camp, but his camp hooked me and 5 of my friends up with like the dopest possible tickets to Guns N' Roses at Madison Square Garden. Like we're literally like breathing the fucking fire. You know, like we're like that's another show where I basically thought I lost my hearing. Like they played for 3.5 hours, like with no break.
Wow. That's impressive.
So we stood up the whole time. My legs were jelly.
That's Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know they had that much material, bro. I swear.
Yeah, of course they do.
Well, I mean, that's because you know Axl cleaned up and took himself seriously, and like, you know, so they could do that. I saw Guns N' Roses with Buckethead instead of Slash way back when I was in college, and they, you know, Axl was not in good shape at that time and wasn't taking things seriously, and they came on like 2 hours late. The Boston subway system had already closed by the time the show ended. This was like at the TD Bank North Arena or whatever in Boston, and they had to run emergency T lines or whatever. I remember the T is the name of the subway station in Boston or whatever. So I remember that clearly, and it started to snow and stuff. I was with my buddy.
Oh, wow,
this is a bad situation.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I do still remember that show. But the show years later with Slash and Axl, like, and you know, guys who were ready for it, you know, to kick ass or whatever. That was a great concert. Like, it was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to, for sure.
Javi, do you want to ask him about a particular musician you're fond of, or see if he knows him?
I mean, it was surprising enough to know that I knew you were into Deftones. I forget what show I tuned into where you spoke about that, but and I think I did hear you mention that you were into At the Drive-In, but yeah, just that's what I was listening to when I was growing up. Like,
nice.
Like, of course, I started off like with Blink-182. They were like my top.
Yeah,
like,
so I got to work with Blink-182 also.
Yeah, Blink-182, and then after I was like, all right, let me see what smart rock, you know, like what other type of rock music there is,
right.
You know, because
so Blink-182 quote unquote broke up, but then they got back together. They came out on stage at the Grammys. They said, "Hey, we're getting back together. We're going to go do a tour." Later they would actually do music, and then there would be more drama with the band, and you know, Tom and Mark and all that. But like,
yeah,
at that era when they were gonna go to the Grammys, to announce that they were going to get back together and do a reunion and all that. That was around the time frame where I was involved with them, and I got to help them relaunch like all their websites, all their social platforms. Like, wow. I was part of the crew that basically taught them how like the early days of social media and digital media work.
Yeah.
Like I remember literally like giving them instructions about how to send a tweet with a text message and stuff like that. Like it was like early, you know, pre-social media, let's just call it, you know, at the time. But
yeah.
But
now
yeah,
Tom DeLonge is like,
that was a fun time.
Yeah, now he's like writing alien books and looking for aliens out there.
Yeah.
I think they play with the guitarist from Alkaline Trio. I think that's who joined their band.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another
I was able to see them.
Alkaline Trio is another great band too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I remember going to this like friends and family only show that they did.
What?
I think it was at the Forum, and like basically all their friends and family were on the floor. The seats weren't sold or anything. It was just like everybody on the floor, and it was them going through the reunion tour set for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before the tour kicked
That
off.
was
fun.
Did you ever get into any sort of jam band? Like, I know there were some people that were saying like, oh, they listened to Fish in the chat, but like, have you ever heard of like Snarky Puppy or anything like that? Like,
I've heard of Snarky Puppy. Jam bands aren't really my thing. Like, I'm not super into Fish. I'm not super into Grateful Dead and stuff like that. Like, I appreciate it and stuff, but I it's not like the stuff I put on. Like,
yeah, and it's also not very like, it's not as mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
We can just say that.
For sure, sure. I definitely appreciate it. Like, there are offshoots of that kind of stuff that I dig. You know, that I dig as well. But for the most part, I'm into the structured stuff versus the looser stuff, if you will, to put it in its most generic terminology. Yeah,
definitely. That's awesome. I got to volunteer at a Snarky Puppy concert. Well, they hold a music festival down here, Ground Up Music Festival in North Miami Beach, and I got to go backstage and just watch them play while they were on stage. Yep. It was awesome. Yeah.
Dude, but that's huge too, though, man. I remember when Fish played down here for New Year's Eve one year. That was
They played MSG like freaking 20-something days in a row.
13. Yeah, it was 13 days.
I know people there that you know that went to all of them. You know, it's like
and they never repeated a song.
Yeah, there's some hardcore Fish fans.
You're serious? They never repeated a song.
They never repeated a song yet.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna ask you my band.
Okay.
You ever work with Jane's Addiction?
No.
Okay.
No.
I knew it was gonna be a tough one.
No, but
Dave Navarro.
Chris Cornell, but not Dave Navarro or Perry Farrell.
Perry Farrell, Steve Perkins on drums.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was my jam.
Yeah, that's a great band.
That was my jam. That was the craziest mosh pit. One of the craziest mosh pits I've ever seen was that one. And it was crazy because I was with my two sons and they got into a fight. And then my brother got in. Oh my God, it was crazy.
Two craziest mosh pits I've ever seen. Slayer, number 1.
Oh, yeah. Wall of Death.
Pantera, number 2. I was in pits for both of those artists, and it was dangerous.
Dude, mosh pits are scary, bro.
Yeah, they are.
They can be.
I don't mess around anymore. That.
I went to Lollapalooza. I think it was the second year Lollapalooza, and I was terrified. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna die. It was scary, bro. There was like Conan guys all around.
Yeah.
And I was like 21, 22, and I was like, oh my God. Dude, I was like, I swear to God, they looked like Conans, and they were just punching people as people were coming by. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, there's definitely a violent aspect to it, but there's also like a dance to it. You know, it's really a dance, more so than like an act of violence. But there are people that take it out of control and then turn it into violence.
Into violence, exactly. There is a dance to it. You know, exactly. There is a motion, a feel to it.
Yeah.
But dude, some people.
Yeah, some people just take it too far.
Too far, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, does anybody know the score?
It feels like, was Dimebag Darrell alive when you saw Pantera? I don't know if that's a trick question, bro, but yes.
Wow.
They didn't play as Pantera after he passed, really. Like
right.
They did other projects.
Yeah, they did other projects, yeah.
Hey, look, Bake has a friend that was a roadie. Followed Fish around for a year, bro. That's crazy.
There are a lot of people that do that.
That's people that,
Yeah.
Wait. Let me see what Biggie just said. Wait. Hold on. When I was a kid, I used to beat people. Yeah, people are taking it too far.
Yeah.
Dude, so we've gone an hour and a half. I know we could probably go another freaking hour and a half, but we do want to watch the end of the game.
Yeah, where's the game at? What's the score?
The game is at 48-65 Lakers.
Yeah.
And the Heat were on top. The Heat were winning for a good portion, and then once it hit the 30s or something like that, Lakers started
putting away.
Yeah. So
All
it's
right,
48-65 right now.
I feel good about that. Let's bring it home.
All right, man. It's all right. It's getting over. It's not over. But dude,
Biggie says show a fucking book.
You want me to show a book, Biggie?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have a question. Not that you have to show it, but do you still have the two AF-15s?
I do, yeah.
Wow.
And TMNT #1. Let's not forget about that TMNT #1.
Oh yeah, that's a crazy book right now.
Yeah.
I know DS made a joke earlier about me having money in that book, and dude, it's a struggle right now, like with how much that book is going for.
What grade you have it graded, right?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
But it's insane how much that book.
What's the grade on yours?
8.0. With signed and remarked by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
God bless.
But here's probably my latest like mega banger or grail or whatever you want to call it. So there's a book.
Wow.
For you book hounds out there.
Dude.
Love that book.
Bro, your collection is second to none, dude. Congrats to you. Bro.
I don't agree with that. There's a lot of people with better collections than me. There's always a better collection.
There's always somebody better, dude. But
yeah, there's always a better collection. So
your collection is freaking top.
But I love my collection. Like it's my
definitely.
Oh,
it fits my passions.
Hey, Javi, I love your collection, but I wouldn't trade mine for yours. I love mine. Exactly.
That's what it should be.
Even those of yours might be better. I still love mine. Bro,
yeah, I get a lot of props from Biggie on my collection. I know he's a fan of my collection. He says NYC collection. So, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I know he's like, I trade mine for NYC's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I take that back.
Coach Vic says he'd trade too. So,
dude, that's everybody's gonna trade. I guess I'm the only dummy. Bro, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to do this.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Thanks for being here.
Bro, thank you so much. I know you touched on what you got coming up. You want to go over that again for your channel?
Sure. So next Thursday, I'm gonna do Original Art Hour with C. Woodard.
Nice.
19. He's gonna be my guest, and he's gonna be a good guest for that one because since I'm kind of faking my own New York Comic Con experience on my channel. He's got a lot of con sketches and that whole sketchbook. So I think he's a perfect type of guest for my CBNYCC thing next week or whatever. But
awesome.
So that'll be fun. And then on Friday, I got I'll be doing a bunch of giveaways. I'm not sure exactly. I guess I'm calling it my Road to 900 giveaways. But really, it's just going to be a live hang with live giveaways. It's not a contest that you need to like make a video for and all that stuff. It's just going to be a live hang with giveaways. That's Friday. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be doing a live claim sale. It's going to be me, DS Comics, Dame Ayers, and J Hood.
Nice.
Doing a claim sale, not an auction necessarily, but a claim sale. But yeah, that'll be fun. So 3 days in a row next week of CBNYCC 2020 instead of NYCC 2020 because it's not happening.
CBNYCC.
That's it. Yeah, CBNYCC.
Awesome.
So
Looking forward.
That's what I got. I know I've got other stuff with JP. We've got, future episodes of Gotham City Chronicles in the works, future episodes of the indie show where we're supposed to keep reading the books.
Right.
So, I got some other stuff, swirling around or whatever, but that's the near future.
Dude, I'm surprised you're not at 1,000. I seriously,
I'm getting there. I'm at like 80 something.
I think you're okay with it. I think you're okay with it when you get it, right? I can see that.
Yeah, because I'm not really like, let's be honest, like I'm not really
pushing there.
I don't really do a ton of edited videos. Every now and then I'll occasionally do an edited video just to because I do, a part of me deep down does enjoy that process of editing a video, every once in a while. But if I had to do that every single time I felt compelled to make content, I would go nowhere because it would be a lot of work. So I tend to be more of a live guy, and those tend to be longer and just more spur of the moment, like this show, and just harder to watch on the rewind too. So with as far as the amount of content I make and the type of content I make, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Like after 1 year, I had just hit 500, and now I'm at just hitting 2 years. And I'm almost at 900, so it's almost the same pace. Like I may have dropped off a little bit, I focused
You're having fun with it, man. You're having fun with it.
Yeah. It's definitely an outlet for me to have fun, not for me to take that seriously.
Hey, before we go, who did your New York City intro and all that? Did you do that?
JB did the intro. Discovery Bay. I don't know if he had someone else do it, but he made it so that when I entered his chat, he could play it or whatever, and then he just gave it to me to let me use as my intro or whatever because I didn't have an intro.
Dude, I love it.
I love it too, man. So
that's awesome.
And I have an outro also that I made. So I made an outro or whatever, but almost no one hangs around till the end of the video.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I love it, man. I freaking love it. It's one of the.
We're definitely gonna have Bake on the show on Friday to give away baked goods.
Yeah, he's gonna give away cookies and baked goods.
Okay, so Discovery did it by himself. So yeah, he did an awesome job. So.
Yes, he did, dude. I do. I honestly, I mean it. I freaking love that when it comes in. The music he picked and everything is so New Yorkish.
It's so funny, dude.
It's so really well done, dude. I really enjoy it. Javi, what you got going on?
I am going to be going out of town this week.
Nice.
It's my girlfriend's birthday, so I'll be visiting her. Gonna be taking a little mini vacation. But it should still be on for Silver Age Sunday this Sunday on the Conquistadorks channel. And then next Wednesday, another episode with Hialeah Comic Bro, Inquiring Minds. And next Thursday as well, it's going to be the Start Me Up Show, October 8th, another episode of the Start Me Up Show, our music showdown, music battle show with Hialeah and Goat 99. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well.
I'm looking forward to it. It's my turn to pick the years. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But, oh, dude, that's awesome, man. You're going to go see your girl. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
I don't know what I got. I'll be popping up wherever I pop up. Inquiring Minds, I know. Hopefully 90 MF Comics next week, Silver Age Sunday. I got the Johnson show. That's more sports on Monday. We're going to be picking.
Yeah, defend that Comigories status.
Oh, my God. I got that next Monday, too. Yeah. Oh, my God. I got more things than I thought. Okay.
So I got nothing going on. Wait a minute. I got something going on every single day for the next
got a lot going on, dude. I do another sports channel. My friends, Randy's Young Bucks Old Goats on Saturday night. We talk football. But yeah, I guess I'm doing more than I thought. You're right.
Yeah, I think we're all doing more than we think we are in this game.
Yes.
Like, because like even I sometimes like I'm like, yeah, well, I'm just a casual channel, or I'm just a casual YouTuber, or whatever. I don't know what the phrase is, but like, or content maker or whatever. But like, you know, if I count when I'm on other people's videos, then I'm doing a lot. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but a lot of those times when I'm being on somebody else's video, I just see as more of like a hangout. Like I'm being social and whatnot, you know. Whereas when it's my own channel, I'm responsible for the end product. So it's like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's the way I look at it myself too. I think that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like my wife goes, "You're on a lot," and I go, "Not really. On my channel, I'm only do this." But what about all the other stuff?
That's true.
Yeah.
You're on every week except for Fridays.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Oh my God. Hey, what's up, Bueller, man? You missed a good show, man. Viva la
Well, you guys missed it. I talked about non-comic book stuff for like an hour. Now we're back to comics.
Now we're back to comics, but hey, man.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody, the chat's been truly amazing today. Thank you so much for coming by. Javi, thank you, man. Truly appreciate you coming.
Oh, thank you guys. Like I said earlier, like I don't really get a chance to actually talk about myself, so I probably came off a little awkward, or just, like, you know, more serious than normal, but whatever. That is what it is, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to share a little bit about other stuff. It's fun to do from time to time. You know?
I was excited, man. I wanted to know more about you, bro, and you came across just fine. Just let me tell you that you are your own expert in you, so it was easy to. Javi, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you every week. I mean,
of course, man.
Guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Next week we got another amazing guest. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody on the replay. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Take care, and so long from the Sunshine State, and go Heat.
Go Lakers.
Take care, everybody.